I can't go anywhere without you two. I know. Always following me. I wanted to talk about the profound shifts that you can make by just adding a couple of changes into your lifestyle. So easy, these changes, but you will see a dramatic difference in your mindset, movement, health, well-being, and vitality of your being. Now, these are simple. This comes off the back of a video I shared on my socials about how your brain is very heavily influenced by the first thing it does in the morning. So during the night, your brain unplugs, it rewires, it recenters, it rejuvenates. It has synapses that it literally disconnects from, and it stores all the information away and files it and logs it so that it can start fresh and new again. So the first thing in the morning is a very powerful influencer. Now, I say you can either wake up two ways. You can wake up and go and grab your mobile phone, which I would say 90% of the population does. They grab their mobile phone and they instantly switch their brain on to full-on mode 0 to 100. Even though this is very chilled and simple thing to do, the hundreds of people's information that you're scrolling through, your brain is literally on overdrive from the get-go, and that instantly switches you in to a alert state of being, that hyper flight or fright. Now, I don't really like to use that word sympathetic flight or fright and parasympathetic calm, because you can be in a sympathetic response but still be in a healthy sympathetic response, meaning driving a car, being alert for work, exercising. They are a healthy form of alertness that we have to be in a sympathetic drive for. It's when we are in the agitated, literally flight, fright, stressed, anxious, panicky, they're the bad kind of sympathetic responses. Now, although you think flicking on your phone, you might not feel stressed, your brain feels stressed because it literally just woke up from a deep sleep, and now it's trying to process so much information all at once. And then at that 8 a.m. mark, our body's natural cortisol levels, which are kind of our stress response levels, our stress hormones, and once again, they can be good and bad, but at 8 a.m., that's a natural drive for our cortisol levels. Guess what else we usually do at about 8 a.m.? After we've been on the phone scrolling, we get up and we have a coffee. So we've just gone boom, boom, boom. And our brain is now literally going from asleep to running as fast as it can on a treadmill. And you haven't even left the door to get to work. So I always say, no wonder by 3 p.m. you're completely exhausted because of how you first influenced your brain in the morning. Can that change and be different? And if it is impacted differently in the morning, can the rest of the day change? 100% it can. So change number one, I want you to start to really delve into and talk to yourself about is how you wake up first thing in the morning. Now, if it is via alarm, social media, coffee, running out the door, into traffic, into your office, can some of those things change? Can we wake up a little bit earlier? Can you change the coffee for maybe a hot lemon water? I know you can have the coffee later. Don't jump through the screen at me. Can you then go straight outside? Do not turn your phone on. That is number one. Do not engage in someone else's life before you have not checked in on your own. That is an insult to this amazing vessel that you live within. That is an insult to the life you have been given, is to disregard this precious thing and jump into 5 or 10 or 100 other people's lives and check in on what they're doing. Why is what their life, random strangers you have no idea about, more important than waking up, taking a breath of your own, walking outside, opening your eyes to natural sunlight, getting your feet on the ground, taking a nice big drink of water, taking a few deep breaths, maybe stretching out your back and doing a little bit of movement? That's checking in to your own body and your own life before anything else or anyone else. And just by doing that one change, you will change so much more. You will see when you create that pattern. Now remember, a pattern takes around 2,000 reps for your brain to even consider this is important. That's why it's way easier to get up and scroll on your phone, because you've done that every morning forever. and that pattern is just there, it's a habit. So we've got to break that habit and change into something new and different, which is going to be wake up and don't touch the phone. You've got to do that a few times before it becomes a habit, before it becomes a pattern in your brain. But once you start on this track of changing that first influence your brain has in the morning, you're going to change the rest of the day and how your brain perceives information for the rest of the day. That is the most powerful thing for your health and wellness. And it can look however you want it to look. I'm just giving you an example. For me, I get up, I instantly go get a drink of water or a hot lemon juice. I instantly try and get outside after trying to make breakfast for my son and feed the birds and feed the dogs. In between those sort of things, I'm outside as fast as I can to get the sunlight in my eyes, because that sunlight tells my body it's daytime. Here's some energy. We're going to need energy for the rest of the day. Little bouts of sunshine throughout the day is going to give you more bouts of energy throughout the day. Which leads me on to my second life-changing change that you can make, which is the environment you are around. So I'm also going to link a little podcast here to Zach Bush. I think he's a fantastic, brilliant mind. He talks about how we have different microbiomes, okay, and how different environments have different microbiomes. Basically, the environment you are in has and creates its own little microorganisms of goodness. So have a look at your day. Are you only in one environment? Do you wake up? Do you spend all day inside? Do you not get outside and get sunlight? Do you watch the TV? Are you in stark fluorescent lights? Like, this is one environment, and that is one microbiome that you are only giving your body. Can you add in some new environments into your day? So the different and more environments you can add into your day, the fresher the air, the greener the grass, the more trees, the more sunlight. Go to the beach, get into some water. Like, when was the last time you actually dived into a fresh body of water? We are made up of like 90% water. When you jump into a fresh pool of water, not a pool, like a creek or an ocean, you are taking on and absorbing that microbiome into your biology. When was the last time you went into a rainforest and you took your shoes off and walked on the mossy grass and you smelt that mustiness of the trees and the leaves? When you are in that environment, you take on that microbiome. And when you take on these different environments microbiome, you have a bigger, better, healthier system in your body that flourishes and is filled with vitality and wellness. If you are only ever living in one microbiome, which is indoors, as I said, wake up, get in the car, go to work, come home, wake up, get in the car, go to work, come home. Can you see how that is not as flourishing as being in such different, vast, beautiful environments? It's almost like you are limiting yourself to just the Sahara Desert, where there's no trees and no water, and that's what you want to live in. And that's the only goodness that you are getting from that environment that you are living around and in. So 2 things I want you to start assessing and changing in your life if you are someone that perhaps could do with a bit more change. Maybe you're not thriving in your health and wellness, or maybe you're not thriving in your mindset and mental health. These 2 things are very simple to change, but it does take change, and nothing changes if you don't change. That's one of my favorite quotes of all time. So write down for me, how do I get up each morning? What does it look like? Can I change certain things? Can I not get on my phone first thing in the morning? Can I not turn on the news first thing in the morning? Can I not have neighbours? Sorry. Can I not have that coffee at 8 a.m? Can I push it back a little bit after I've moved my body, after I've been outside, after I've breathed in fresh air, after I've had sun in my eyes? Like, this is something you're going to have to work on. I can't tell you how to do it. And then the second is, how many environments, how many microbiomes, how many different goodnesses am I sucking into myself and my body during the day? Is it just one environment? Am I literally at work in a hospital or wherever you are in a hairdresser all day long? And it's okay to be like that, because we all have to work. But at the end of the day, instead of going home and just sitting inside on the couch, can you go for a 5-minute walk at the beach? Or can you go to the park at lunchtime and have your lunch instead of sitting indoors and flicking on your phone? There are these small changes that make massive differences in the health and well-being of a human body. And one is the environments you live in, and two is the influence that you first give your brain first thing in the morning. Try and make those two changes for me, and then see the changes that come from making those changes, which will blow your mind and body and soul and health and wellness and vitality, and you're just going to feel like a better human being for doing it.